to invite up the Honourable Sadiq Khan, who's the Labour MP for Tooting. He's the Shadow Justice Secretary, Shadow Lord Chancellor and Shadow Minister for London. And Mr Khan is also competing in the London Marathon in a few days. So if you look up on Twitter, yes we can, you will be able to support him there. So Mr Khan.
Thanks, Charlotte. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening, and Sadiq Khan. I really enjoyed Jasvir's presentation earlier on, and for those of you who have not read the report, I commend it. But actually, I want to begin by thanking all those who sponsored the report and made it possible. They're in the booklet. And so through Jasvir, I want to thank all those who made this report possible, because this report is feeling the pulse of the 450,000 British Sikhs in the UK. And for people who make laws, it's important we know what British citizens of Sikh faith, the Sikh diaspora, value, and what they want their politicians to be doing. What's really great, it's not simply to have pretty here from the Conservative Party, it's great to have some of the other parliamentarians there. Stephen Timms has just had to leave the room. You heard from Fabian Hamilton, who's chair of the all-party parliamentary group for British Sikhs, John Speller, MP, Pat McFadden, MP, Mike Gapes, MP, Alan Whitehead, MP, Brenda Sharma, MP, all doing a brilliant job representing the diverse communities within their constituencies, many of whom include Sikhs. And my good friend Colbert Ranger, who used to work in the City Hall, is also here today as well. And one of the great things about the report is, of course, as Jasvir and Priti have said it talks about the huge economic contribution the British Sikh community makes to UK PLC. More than £7.63 billion to the GDP. More than two-thirds of Sikh families earn above £40,000. A third earn more than £80,000 a year, and a third are also entrepreneurs. So that's great. So you can argue now you've got the evidence of the economic input of the British Sikh community. But actually, let's not limit your contribution to the economy. The social contribution you've made to our lifestyle, the cultural contribution you've made to our lifestyle, and I don't just mean bend it like Beckham. The Sikh community over the last, not just 20, 30 years, but 160 years, have been making the British society more tolerant and more respectful. Laws were changed to allow Sikhs to ride motorcycles wearing their turbans, to join the police service wearing a turban. And that's because of your ability to lobby legislators, whether they're Muslim, whether they are Christian, or members of a different faith. That's really, really important. So when I was asked by Jasvir to come along to the launch of the British Sikh Report 2014, it was an honour to be asked to do so. But it's important. We mustn't just pat ourselves on the back and then leave with a glow, because there are problems. And the problems are articulated in the report. My area of interest is areas around crime and policing. And the report is worried around the experience of British Sikhs around crime and policing. 78%, that's almost 8 out of 10 British Sikhs who are victims of crime fail to report the crime because they have no confidence in the police to deal with the crime. Although 33%, 1 out of 3 British Sikhs, have confidence in the police, 30% don't have confidence in the police. And the report gives out a prescription of the themes that emerges. They recommend that the police need to work closer with the British Sikh community. There needs to be more engagement with the Gurdwaras. There needs to be more training on Sikhism. Police need to understand that Sikhs, Hindus and Muslims, we aren't the same. And that's really, really important. The police and the authorities need to tackle the issue of grooming, especially the concern around Sikh girls in particular. So of course we should be proud of this report, but also it's a wake-up call to those of us who are passionate about our way of life to make sure that the British Sikh voice is heard in the mother of all parliaments. And also, finally, we make sure we have more politicians, not just Bonker, in the GLA. We have more Sikh parliamentarians in the House of Commons and the House of Lords, working with those of us who are Sikh to make sure we get the best tool possible for the Sikh community, Conservative and Labour as well. And so thank you very much for the hard work in producing this report. I look forward to working with the Sikh diaspora to move forward, and it's really, really important that we carry on with the debate and the dialogue. Thank you very much.